What's up, people? Right now I'm getting ready to do an easy character. A lot of times people think it's hard to do, but it's not. It's just really getting comfortable with yourself and what you want to show. So I'm going to cover this. This is a design I did for a friend who's starting his own company, printing company in Kent, Washington. Um, and I'm just going to hide that and start off with pretty much how I did that bear. And it's really easy. I'm using the Eclipse tool right here, and I'm just gonna start. So I don't really have a way of doing it. I just kind of just go off of my imagination and research, and I know Kent Washington, there's bears up there, so that's why I made his bear. Right now, I'm just holding the mouse to right click to kind of make it oval or whatever shape I want. But if you want a perfect circle, hold down the Shift and Alt, and it'll go big and small. I guess I'll do that for now just to make things perfect. And it's in the fill in button, and I don't want that right now. I want to just work on an outline, and I'm just going to boost up the points to make it a thicker outline, and I'm just going to center this. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to click on it to select my eclipse, and I'm going to come over here. Why is it not showing? Okay, well, it's right there, that button. I'm just going to bring this up just a little bit, nothing big. I'm just going to squeeze it in just a tad bit. I'm pretty sure if you go on the inside or left, it does the same thing. Okay, let's see what this is. Oh, magic wand. Okay, so you could click Y. I should probably be learning the like the hotkeys and stuff like that, but I'm not. I want to unselect that. There's tricks to doing this, but I'm never really in a rush to do things. But I did this design yesterday, and I think I got it down. But the designs that I do, I usually do them for people, for brands or companies, people starting off. So instead of, you could do copy this two different ways. You could either hold the shift button, or actually the alt or option key, and just click on it and drag it over, or you could have it selected and just press Command C and then Command V, and it'll give you another one. So there's different ways of doing that, but usually I just I'll delete those. I just usually click and hold the Alt or Option key and do that. And most of this stuff is really easy, people. This is gonna be that nose part, the brown. Let me select the color, an off color. I guess that's alright, like a beige. And I'm just gonna bring it down just a little bit. And again, I was using the wand, and I'll do that. Let's see how that looks. And what you could do, since that's about the same size as also a nose, I'm gonna do the option again and drag it up, and I'm gonna fill that in with black. And it's pretty much using the same keys, and this is really easy when you're making little chibi or kawaii style characters. And the reason why it's so easy is that our people like them is because with logos and graphic designs, I feel that it's kind of too much when you're doing overloads with colors. I'm a really simple guy. I keep it minimal. What's going on here? Okay, right now I'm using the okay, I'm not sure why it's doing that. All right, curvature. I call it the pencil. It's probably not right. And with this, I'm gonna click out of this, and I'm gonna come over here, and I usually use this stroke over here. So where this the mouse is over here, I'm gonna click on that, and it should open up. And now it's kind of lined out. It's like cut off, right? So I usually come over here at the end and do that to give it rounded edges. And I'm gonna go just a little deeper. I think that'll be good. So with this, this is just a stroke. So if I back out and I grab that thing and press Shift, Alt again to stretch it out, it should be getting thinner the bigger I go. And that's not what I wanted to keep it the same. Actually, it didn't get thinner, it got longer. But sometimes when you do that making designs, what I do, I go up to my object, go up to path, and outline stroke. And there should be a line in there. And then what I do, where is it at? Object expand. Alright. I'm not sure why the stroke didn't come out. For some reason it does that and it doesn't. And I'm just going to bring it over. And if you see that little line come across, it's just saying that it's level. I'm just going to flip it the other way. So right click, left click, left click, right click. Let me do that again. So left click, right click, transform, reflect, and it's on vertical, self-explanatory, and it comes around. And I'll do it that way. It's about the same. Yeah, it's about the same. Or what you could do also, instead of trying to eyeball it, I could just delete this and then do the same thing as before. Just Option or Alt key, drag it over. It's showing right now that it's balanced. Transform. So alright, highlight, right click, transform, reflect, and it's still on vertical, nothing's changed, and bam. So that's pretty good. Alright, now I'm just bringing that up just a little bit. I want to add a little, that little line I had earlier. Now I know this is slightly different, the one I was doing for the company out in Washington. Alright, so with this, I should probably do it on another layer, which that is a good practice, but let's see what happens. Alright, so I'm going to go back to stroke. I'm not sure why it's taking a second. Hello there. Alright, stroke. And that's a pretty thick line, so I'm just going to bring it down to make the thick smaller. I'm going to see how it looks at a 1. Alright, so I was trying to come over and align this to the nose, and for some reason it doesn't do it. If you see that little line coming across right here, see that little line? Now when I let go of it and it doesn't line up, I'll show you how to fix that. So it's not perfectly lined up, right? So to do everything, this happens. I'm not sure, when I updated Illustrator it's been doing that. So I'm gonna highlight everything because it's probably reading that everything, the way it lines up is different. So I'm gonna come up here to the transform, right here where the mouse is to the right of the screen, transform, and I probably need to update my computer. So when you come and the transform window opens, transform, come down and take that off. And now this should read. Now it's, there you go, it's centered. Some reason it's been doing that lately, and I figured it out yesterday. There's a lot of stuff I still need to learn from from Illustrator, but I think that's a good little tip. I'm sure I'm not the only one picking it up. So what I did there, I just ended up clicking on the colored part and giving it its own layer, so the black is all together, the outline. I should do that earlier. For every little different color that you have, you should have a different layer, and that's easy. You just click right here, create new layer. So, and this is on top, the black is on top, and then that beige looking color is on the bottom. So I'm going to block that so I don't click it. So that way, now when I highlight everything, that color should not show the beige. It should not be picking it up. But if it was unlocked, it would read it right there. So even if you have it highlighted and I lock it, it should take it off. And then I'm just going to go ahead, since I got enough on that part, or actually, I'm going to add the little piece. This was kind of what I did with James's. I'm going to do the same thing with the stroke. What happened here? With the stroke. There it is. Then I'm going to bring it down just a few points. Actually, let's try 75.75% of the line. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did earlier, make it into its own. Alright. And this is part of that that is not reading. It doesn't want to move up or right even though I show it. Or that you see it. Let me see, I'm trying to have it work. black. So it's centered right there, and it should be coming down, covering that little bottom black piece of underneath the nose, but it's not doing it right. So what you want to do is go back to your to the transform window, and it keeps picking it up. I'm not sure why that is, but I hope this helps you if you're having that problem or run into it. Just go to that transform window. So I'm going to highlight them and give them their own outline. So object, path, outline stroke, and I'm just going to come up, and voila. So I want to attach these three, and to attach them so it's not in their own thing, I want it all together in one piece. I'm going to come up over here and hit the Pathfinder window. So over here to the right, hit the Pathfinder window, and I'm going to hit merge, and that should connect them. And there it goes again. For some reason, not aligning right. I'll figure that out later, but I guess to continue, I'll go. I'm not trying to have this too long video. So I'm gonna actually come up with another, use the ellipse tool again and come down. I'm just gonna make some ears for this guy. Let's just say it's right there. Just making, I don't want it filled up. Let's bring it up to a 2, because that the 2 is the same thing as this one. So I want that outlined about the same point number scale. Let me see. Oh, so I didn't do it. Option, bring it over. Then I'm gonna highlight these two, and I want to get rid of these. I do not want these ears as a background and an individual thing. I want it together. So I'm gonna cut the ears, and it should be this tool right here. I'm not sure why my Illustrator is not picking up on the name's perspective grid, and you could either do that and come through here. But sometimes when you do that, say you're using this perspective tool or whatever it was, sometimes what ends up happening, I'm going to Command Z to go back to undo that. And sometimes what people do, they have their stroke, their fill in black. And if I do that, everything should turn black in the face. And I'm going to see if to take it. So that's just a different way. I know that happens to me sometimes in the very beginning. I was like, how do I undo that? But it's just that you had the fill, the swatches, you had the fill, and it wasn't on the stroke, just to keep it in outline. So when you do that little perspective tool or whatever it is, let's look at that again. I just know what they do for me, and that's how I go off of it. So usually it has a name pop right up, and it's not doing that. But let's see how that goes. Alright, everything seems to be good so far. Now I'm going to make the body, but I want to start on a different layer, so I'm not grabbing this. I usually have the face separate on a separate layer until I get the body right. And I move it under. So double right click on that, on your layer. I'm going to name this bear head and body. And I'm just naming the rest. So yeah, we'll keep that under there. So I'm just gonna come and do the same thing, do like a little body, and that seems to be alright. I'm just gonna leave it right there. I'm just gonna follow through with what I'm doing. And the little arms, I didn't do nothing hard. I just came over here to this tool. I really need to remember these tool names. And I don't know why it's not popping up. Usually the names pop up. But either way, I'm just going to click there. Come around right here and do that. There's that cutoff edge. I'm just going to come over to the stroke. Actually, yeah, there it goes. And just hit that tool. So, and then just work around. That should be that way. Now look at the difference, how there's those kind of spikes. So this should fix it. I wanted a round edge. And the reason for that, one of my instructors that told me when you're doing characters, she did some movies with Disney, Walt Disney, the Beauty and the Beast, and another one. And she said with Disney, if a movie is sharp and edgy, then the rest of everything else has to follow through. You can't have something sharp and edgy if what we already started on is all curved and smooth outlines. So you want to match that with everything. And with this, since I already did the same and I want it exactly alike, I don't want to come and spend more time on this to make a new arm, because it might be a little different, and it usually is. I'm going to do the same thing as we did before with the eyes and the ears, and I got it selected, and then I'm gonna hold the Alt option and come over, do the same thing, left click, transform, reflect. It's on vertical, and okay, and it should be bringing up that little line right there, so it shows its balance, and everything looks pretty good. Now that these are just lines, I want to make them into paths, but before I do that, I want to do something really quick. I'm going to come up here and use this tool again and just move the bottom of the body a little higher. Alright, and these are still lines, they're not pads, but what I want to do is do the same thing I did with the ears to cut through this. Let's cut through these two lines. So I'm going to click on this, or you could just drag and it's just those two that is selected, because you might drag and try to get everything, then everything's reading. But I like to know that I only got two things selected, and the face and the body is selected right there. I'm going to come over to the what was this again? Whatever this tool is right here. I'll probably add it in there in the video when I edit it, and it got rid of that stuff. And these are still tools, or still outlines. And now I'm going to do legs. Let's go ahead and do the same thing. Keep it easy. Come up on the bottom. And let's do that. And bring that over here. You can make the feet any way you want. This is just an easy little tutorial. And I'm going to do the same thing. Alright, perspective grid tool. Come through and cut these two. Alright. And what I want with these, since they're outlines, right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to unclick these. So what I just did, I just selected everything, but to unselect the stuff you don't want to touch, I'm going to hit the shift key and hold it down and left click all these little pieces, because I do not need those. Or actually, there's even a better way, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to group these. There's a lot of little different ways of doing this, but I grouped all of it, which was just I selected everything, object, and group. But since it's already grouped, everything that's available in the open layers, they're grouped. So I can ungroup them. It doesn't do anything, but now it's still on the same layer, other than what it was before when I had it separate with body. Now I no longer want that. But here, now that it's all grouped, I'm going to go over, make sure my layer is clicked where everything is grouped together, come up to this little box icon thing right here, and put duplicate. Now, there's two layers of the same thing, so you can't see it, but I'm going to hide the first one, and to see that, you can't tell the difference. But I'll close that one, and this is the second layer, and close that one, and it should disappear, just like that. So I'm gonna lock the top layer, which is the same thing, the outline. And with this one, what I want to do, the nose is gonna disappear, but that's fine. Actually, I think I'm gonna unselect these really quick and delete the nose and the color of the nose and the snout part. So that should all be selected. I'm gonna delete that because it's already on the top layer. And after I add this color, I'm gonna select everything and do like a brown color. Now this might be green because I'm colorblind, so I'm gonna guess here. Alright, so I'll leave it that color. And the reason for these is that they're not closed off, so I want to make sure they're the bottom. Let me see, make sure that one is too, so they're at the very bottom. I'm gonna bring this up, and the arms right here on the very bottom, so it's pretty easy. to fix, and you can't tell because it's a bottom layer, so you won't see the black outline. Oh, what happened? Select it. Make sure I hit that. Now you could be really technique, not like the first one that I did. All right, why is it not? I'm not sure why it's not selecting. I'm just gonna follow through with it and see what happens. All right. Some reason, see, this is just saying or letting me know that that arm is not selected. I'm not sure why that is, but what I could do too is just delete it and do the same thing we did before. Select it, option key, um, drag it over so there's a copy made, and do the same steps as before. Oh, what's going on here? Let me lock that. Alright, that looks alright. So I locked all of these, and what I did, um, I just held my left button and just drag down, and you can lock them. And then I could just do the same thing, just go back up instead of doing it one by one. Um, that's an easy way of doing it. I kind of want this brown a little lighter. I think that's too dark. It's nice on there, but I learned uh, it's better just to go a little lighter. Maybe just a little bit more lighter than that. Right there. And then to finish it off, so there's a separate layer if I get rid of it. So that's the outline, or that's the color, and then the outlines on top. That's why it's important to have two different layers. And then the nose that disappeared is because the brown is on top of the nose color, the layer. So when I do that, there you go. You could do other little things with this. I'm gonna keep those layers hidden. You could go in really close. I'm gonna make some white. There's just little stuff you could do that really makes a difference. It depends on how all you want it. Oh, so option button and drag over. So it matches with the face. When you do something, you want the eyes matching with like the mouth. Unlike if I had a smile, then it would probably be, I'll select that and do something like that. It all depends on what you want to do. So I'll leave it there. And with the bear I had before in the beginning, it had a tie, and I just want to have it in its own layer. So this is just using the, damn it, what is this? Pop-up right here. Well, just use that tool right there. I'm just gonna scroll down and then do something like this. Nothing fancy. Now you could use it as a fill, and I know you're looking at white, and it looks better right here. And bam, that's it. And what I like to do with characters, I'll use it on the same one. I like giving them a double chin, and that's really because me gaining weight, I like to laugh a little about myself, and it also, you add little things about yourself or little things that you come across that also gives a character more character to it. So there you go. And that's pretty much it. And then you could always add whatever you want, making another layer. So with James's design that I did for his company, his printing company, I like using Helvetica for company designs, but there's little things with this that you could do. Let's do this. I'll show you more about the spacing in between. Or you could just follow it on here. Let's bring it in. I'll just hold that down. I really like doing characters. I feel they just reflect people a lot more. And even though it's not centered, what I'm going to do is just bring it over and do that. Now, if I highlight everything before I finish this tutorial, if I highlight everything because it's all in strokes and I stretch it, the strokes kind of get smaller. So if you notice the strokes right there, it's smaller. I'm going to Command Z to go back, and it went back, so it kind of looks the same. Let's see something. So what I'm going to do is block that, so I close that link. And I'm going to object. I always do this. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a bad habit, but I always make everything in the pads. So when I make it bigger, which the thank you is not there, the outline kind of stays just as thick as it would small. And that's my tutorial for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if this helped you. If you have any questions, let me know. Leave a comment. Follow me on Instagram at the Sunny Project right there. Let me know what you think about this bear. And yeah, that's it for now. Let me zoom in on here. See this little sad face? He'll be sad if you don't give him a thumbs up and leave an awesome little comment. If you got questions, feel free to ask. All right. Check y'all later.